Alright, so here we open the page. Alright, so in this video we're going to be talking about the whole model of an animal cell and the parts and their functions. So let's start in the beginning. So this blue outlined membrane is the cell membrane, and notice that the animal cell does not have a cell wall, just like how the plant cell does. So always remember that the animal cell does not have a cell wall. The cell wall only is in the plant cell, not the animal cell. So the animal cell, which that's found in us and tigers and monkeys and all other animals, do not have a cell wall in their cell. So here they only have a cell membrane, and the cell membrane's function is just to allow some substances to pass through and go back out, and it blocks other substances from coming to damage our cell. And it's just a thin layer of protein and fat that just surrounds our whole cell. Here's a lysosome, and a lysosome, we did not find any lysosomes in the plant cell, so they're only found in animal cells. And what they are the lysosomes are organelles, and they're round organelles that surround. They're surrounded by our cell membrane, of course, and they contain digestive enzymes. So this is where the digestion of all cell nutrients take place in our lysosomes. Nucleus has the same function as the plant cell's nucleus, contains all these DNA information, and the site of the site of our RNA and cytoplasmic granules and protein synthesis, and that's our nucleolus. And that red outline is the nuclear membrane that surrounds our nucleus. And here are the vacuoles. And notice that in the animal cell there are multiple small vacuoles. Unlike the plant cell, the vacuoles are there's only one ginormous vacuole that takes place more than about half of the whole plant cell's area. So here are the vacuoles. They're small, and there are multiple vacuoles found in our animal cell. So what they are fluid-filled membrane surrounded cavities inside our cell, and it fills with food being digested and waste material that is on its way out of the cell. So the cell membrane is going to allow these wastes to come out of the animal cell, get rid of the waste. And moving down, mitochondrion, also known as the powerhouse of our cell. And it's just the same thing, like a spherical rod-shaped organelle with a double membrane. And it forms a series of projections called cristae, and the mitochondrion converts energy stored in glucose into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, for the whole cell to function. And moving on, see another lysosome, and another mitochondrion. And right here is the Golgi Body, which just looks like flat layers of pancakes filled with fats and lipids. And so this Golgi Body can also be called as Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. And so the Golgi Body just packages proteins and carbohydrates for export from the cell. And of course, just like how the vacuole packs out waste, the Golgi Body also packs out waste out of the cell through the cell membrane. And right above is the ribosomes. And ribosomes there are just small organelles composed of RNA-rich cytoplasmic granules that are sites of protein synthesis. And above we have the smooth ER and rough ER. And the difference is that the rough ER's texture outside is bumpy and rough, but the smooth does not have these bumpy texture like ribosomes on top. And so if you look at the rough ER, this is the rough, see all these bumpy little purple dots. And the rough endoplasmic reticulum is just a vast membranous enfolded sac that is located inside the cytoplasm. That whole body's that dark beigeish is the cytoplasm. And so the rough ER is covered with the ribosomes that give it a rough appearance. That's why it's called the rough ER. And the rough ER transports materials through the cell and produces proteins in sacs called cisternae, which are sent to the Golgi body or inserted into the cell membrane. Cell membrane right there, cell membrane. And at the bottom, the smooth ER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum is just a vast system of interconnected membranous, enfolded, and convoluted tubes that are located in the cell cytoplasm. And the space within the ER is called the ER lumen. Smooth ER transports materials through the cell, and it contains enzymes that produce and digest lipids. So right here around. And right above the cytoplasm, which contains about 60% of the whole space in the cell. So of course it surrounds almost everything except the cell membrane. So it surrounds the mitochondrion, the lysosome, vacuoles, and pretty much about every organelle. And finally, here's the centrosome. And notice there's only one centrosome. It could also be called the microtubule organizing center. And it's just a small body that has a dense center and radiating tubules. So the centrosome, So it's the centrosome is where the microtubules are made, and during cell division, mitosis, the centrosome divides, and the two parts move in the opposite sides, just like how the plant cell, as we talked before. And so the centriole is the dense center of the cytosome, and there are no centrioles in plant cells, only in animal cells. And yep, that wraps it up for the animal cells. And always remember that animal cells are eukaryotes. They are not prokaryotes because they have a nucleus.